I'd say I identify as a male, a Hispanic male. Um, it's not something I really think about when describing myself. I'm just a Hispanic male who goes to Longwood University, who majors in communications, you know. That's how I describe myself. Chicago Bulls fan, even.
My name is Conifer Solentong. I am a senior communication studies student at Longwood University.
I am Savannah Bartlett, communication studies major, and I am a junior.
I'm Connor Ellison. I'm a junior, and I'm a criminal justice and sociology major.
Okay, so my name is Callie Jackson, and I'm a senior.
Okay, so my name is Alexandra Huerta. I'm class of 2026.
My name is Alexis High, and I'm a senior here at Longwood University.
Hi, I'm Zach. I am a senior at Longwood University.
So I am Asian American, Chinese American before anything else, and then I'm also non-binary and a bunch of other, I just consider myself queer at this point.
I'm mixed, so my mom is white and my dad is black.
I identify as a mixed race man.
An African American woman.
I identify as a Hispanic female. Personally, my ethnicities are half Spaniard and half Mexican.
I am a African American woman.
So I'm also adopted from the Republic of Georgia in Europe, from the city of Batumi. I know my biological mother is full European. We are there's unidentified identification for my father, so we have no idea who he exactly is and what ethnicity he was and everything like that. So I'm kind of like a John Doe. It's known 100% European, but also we don't know the rest. So it's kind of like a little mystery.
There's definitely some people who look more into it than others. You know, there's some people on a campus that look at you like you're just another person. And then there's some people who kind of jump on it, you know, and just kind of keep budging at it that you're, a Hispanic male.
One of the main reasons why I chose Longwood is because my sister went here, so I knew the community of people that were on the campus. I knew that it wasn't gonna be if I went to Alabama, I'd feel out of place because I'm not a D1 athlete. I'm not super smart. I don't do a bunch of things.
So what I graduated from was a public school, public high school, very diverse community. So going into college, I would think, oh, it'd be the same thing. I have a class full of white people, Asians, black people, so forth, so on. So I go into the classroom and I sit down and I look around me for the first day. I was like, there's no black people in this classroom. I was like, oh my goodness. So then I was like, I feel like an outsider. I feel like an outcast. Am I really supposed to be here? Because, I wasn't used to that feeling. I didn't grow up around just being the only black girl in the classroom. So, that kind of lowered my self-esteem a little bit. It made me want to be in the background, kind of quiet. So I didn't really answer the teacher's questions when she asked questions. I kept to myself in that classroom because I felt the classroom always had their little cliques too. So if I answered something and it was wrong, somebody would always be on the sideline talking about how I got it wrong. But I was like, you know what? You didn't even answer the question, so.
Well, growing up, I didn't think I was queer because my family is very heavily religious, and so I just kind of ignored that part for a long time. I didn't really step into that until my 10th or 11th grade year of high school, so it's been a while. As for my race, I got some weird racial comments growing up, specifically in elementary school, and then just kind of died off, and kids picked on other things that they could pick on, I'm short, and I'm 5 foot. But I remember in elementary school, I'd have kids come up to me, we'd have Asian style chicken or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, you eat cats and dogs, that's the whole big thing. So I would get teased over that relentlessly in elementary school, but since then I haven't really had any racial comments of any sort.
I think with what's going on now with DEI and stuff like that, I think that just adds an added pressure to what we already feel, because you kind of have to feel you're not better than everyone else, but you feel you have to work harder because you don't want to be mistaken as like not smart enough or like anything like that. I know for me, like I'm only speaking from my experience, but like I think that we have a lot of disadvantages on campuses because we're always trying to prove ourselves, and we're always trying to prove ourselves and go the extra mile, and then try to take care of ourselves and like find spaces that like have a place for us and things like that. So I think it's like a disadvantage because we have to work 10 times harder to make college like fit for us. Like that makes sense.
I always use this example, but the Oliver Anthony concert was, I was covering it for the Rotunda, and that concert was like absolutely terrible. I couldn't stay the whole time. I didn't feel safe enough to stay. There were slurs being spewed out, and there were just really hateful conversations happening, not only from people in the audience, but from people from Oliver Anthony himself. He was encouraging that behavior from the audience.
I feel something that Longwood could definitely take into consideration when it comes to making students of color feel more accepted and want to come to Longwood is really pushing the things that they have for them here. Like, we have a whole student minority union, and that right there, like, just like having that hangout space, like, to just like go whenever you're just like, okay, I need a break for like just like 30 minutes, like just like a 30-minute break from the world going on, like just going right up into the room of Upchurch. It's at the 3rd floor, and it's just a nice like space to just like have on campus, especially if you're just like not having a good day and you want to be left alone, or just like be surrounded with people that can relate and understand to what's going on. Like, if like something happened to you that day, like they could definitely be there and be like, okay, I relate to you, like I've been there, like, and y'all can have conversation. Also, I feel like something that they could really, really push for students of color is Divine Nine. I feel like, especially me being in Greek life, predominantly a white fraternity, if I knew about Divine Nine, I feel like I maybe would have gone a possibly different path with Greek life, and it would have been a different journey. But I feel that's something right there. It's like, it goes so far back in history that even today we're in 2025 and it's still a thing. It still needs to be pushed the way that it was way back then.
When I was in the 5th grade, we were coming back from a field trip, and I was sitting with my friends on the bus, and one student stood up. He was a white male, and he stood up and he started yelling, "I hate Mexicans, I hate Mexicans." And I was like, what? That's so weird. And so I stood up too, and I was like, well, I'm Mexican. Do you hate me? And he was like, yes, I hate you. Go back to your country. And that was the first time I had ever heard that, because all of my family, like when they ask you, like, oh, where are you from? They really want you to say, like, you're from Mexico. And I'm like, no, I had never gone. And all my family was either from Michigan or Texas. And so I didn't understand what he meant, go back to your country, because I was like, I'm here. Like, everyone's from here. Like, lived here our entire lives. And so that was a really shocking thing to hear, and I didn't really have the teacher do much except tell him to sit down. He never really got into trouble. They just kind of was like a slap on the wrist for it. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, that's really bad for a 5th grader to kind of been exposed to.